This is pretty fucking wild, guys. My Discord's been going absolutely fucking insane for the last half hour because people are getting their notifications on their siren apps, getting all the alerts. There are sirens like everywhere in Israel right now. Iran has fired their, I guess, response to the incursions into Lebanon. They've fired at least 100 ballistic missiles. There are interceptors like flying all over the sky. There have been what sounds like a lot of landings. There's been at least, I think, 2 shootings as well in Jaffa. There were Jaffa and a synagogue. There were, I don't know who they were, but guys with automatic weapons going around a train station area and around bus stops shooting people. I think at least 2 or 3 people are dead, 10 injured. And the sky is currently being lit up by rockets, by missiles and interceptors right now. There have been explosions in Tel Aviv. I don't know if that's the sound of debris falling or if that's actually a successful hit from Iran. This is the sky over Israel. What looks like impacts. So, this is someone's alert map that was sent to me. I don't know if the worst of it's already passed or this is from a few minutes ago.
We're going to have to wait and see what happens. I mean, I can't tell you what's going on right now. Whoa, look at this! Things are just coming down. And this is just one part of the country. This is just one part of the country. I don't know what's going on in other parts of the country.
I wonder where he is now. So it seems to have happened. This is one of the impacts in Tel Aviv.
Oh god. Okay guys, we gotta get off the roof. These are coming down right.
Yeah, don't stand on your fucking roof. Oh my god. Don't stand near your windows as well, okay? What the?
They're coming down one. Oh god. Okay guys, we gotta get off the roof. These
So that
are
landed in the sea, I think.
coming down right next to us here. They're coming down. One just about. We gotta go inside. Oh god. Okay guys, we gotta get off the roof. These are coming down right next to us here.
But I mean, this literally all just happened a couple of minutes ago. Who's that from? This is all Iran. This will be Iranian, all of it. So this is it as it happened. Just from, what, 10, 20 minutes ago?
Ehrlich train. The military
Yeah, this is when the
confirms
sirens went off.
Iran has launched missiles towards Israel.
Thanks to $20. Yes, these are from Iran. Yes.
There are a huge amount of rocket alerts all over Israel.
There's a terror attack in there on the ground. Oh yeah, these are the rocket alerts. Well, there is an attack on the ground, and at least I think there's a shooting in Jaffa and in a synagogue somewhere. But I don't know if it's coordinated with Iran. I don't know if it was just like it was just a couple of randoms who maybe came in from the West Bank, or if it might have been Palestinian Israelis who decided to do it after on the same day as the Iranian strikes. Because we knew the strikes were coming from Iran. We knew they were set to come today because U.S. Intel's been talking about it all day. So we knew there was going to be an attack. Whether it's coordinated or just they decided to synchronize it independently, either could be true.
In the sky, is that a missile? Is that an interceptor? What are we seeing? That's a light. You're looking at it right now. We're hearing an explosion, maybe an interception. This is live from Tel Aviv right now.
We're what, 15 minutes behind here?
Where is this thing? That's also from Tel Aviv.
Where have you been? I was going to take a day off today. That's what I was going to do.
I'm trying to get you guys updates here.
This is on the streets, obviously, because of the shootings.
Oh, sorry.
This is the Beirut skyline, meanwhile, live.
I'm not hearing the sirens there anymore. Again, the IDF said missiles were launched. Let me see what I can. Let me see what I can get you on this. I'm waiting to hear more about missiles from Iran. But the Israeli army says the Israeli military has confirmed
this is when the sirens are going to start,
that missiles have been launched towards Israel. Multiple outlets saying this. The Jerusalem Post reported it. The IDF says missiles have been launched to Israel, and now we wait and see what happens. Yes, there's more rocket alerts, but there's rocket alerts all over Israel now, guys. There's alerts all over the place, so I'm just trying to figure out what's going on now.
People in Jordan saw them? Yeah,
I have a camera on the northern border. I can get that up on the bottom of the screen. Let me just do that for you. Give me a moment. I know there's new rocket alerts. At this point, there's a lot of rocket alerts. So, hang on. That's the scene of the shooting, but I'm going to put that... No, I don't want that. I want the border, actually. I want the border area. There's the northern border there. What's happening? What's happening now? Look at that. What is that? Yeah. Look at, guys. We're seeing... Are those interceptors? What are we seeing there? What are we seeing there? We're seeing stuff go in the sky. We're seeing stuff go up there on the Tel Aviv shot right now. That could be interceptors, maybe. I don't know. Unbelievable. We are seeing interceptors apparently flying over Tel Aviv right now. Israel's Nadav Eyal says over 100 launches detected reportedly. We're seeing interceptors being fired right now. Tons of rocket alerts all over the place.
This guy's just hype news, okay? I wouldn't want to be in Israel with this guy giving me the news.
But this is confirmed missile launches. What's going on now? We're waiting to see what happens. Look at these interceptors going up in Tel Aviv.
This is what they look like going over Amman.
What the f***?
Is that Sundowner's voice?
What the f***?
This is what you notice when you... This is what you notice when you fly over... Because we flew in from the Emirates, so we flew over Amman into Israel. You really get the perspective of how fucking small everything is when you're doing that. Like... Flying over Amman, and it's like, oh wait, that's the sea, which means that's Tel Aviv, which means that's Jerusalem. Yeah, you can figure it all out like really quickly when you're flying over, and you can see it all just in one moment.
Ballistic missiles. Look at this! Wow, look at this! Unbelievable! Hang on. Oh, what's that right there? Look at that right there. Something just fell down. Something just fell down. Let me keep checking. I'm watching this just like you, and I will check for other updates here. Alerts all over the country. Sirens! Sirens right now. Sirens going off in Tel Aviv.
Look at this, man. Like
sirens going off in Tel Aviv. Whoa, look at this. Look at all the lights. Look at everything up there. Unbelievable. Look at all these. Look at all of those. Are those missiles? Are those missiles or interceptors? Are those drones? Are they missiles? Are they interceptors? What are we looking at right now? Unbelievable. Wow.
This guy's stretching me out.
Are those drones? Are they missiles? Look at all of them. Those might be the missiles. Or drones. Look at this. That could be incoming. Wow. Look at all of them.
Wow.
This is live in Tel Aviv.
This fucking guy. I didn't actually... I watched a bit of this before I was starting up the stream.
Whoa, look at... They keep coming. They're all coming in.
It's doing my job.
Look at all of this. Unbelievable.
Look at this shit.
Those look like interceptions there.
And then you see debris. I think this is debris landing, right?
What is this? Are those things just hit? Things are coming down. Things are coming down. I don't know if those are intercepted. Things are coming down. Maybe that's debris coming down. I don't know if these are interceptions or missiles or what. And look at all of those. Whoa. Unbelievable. We're hearing explosions now. Live in Tel Aviv here. Whoa! Something else just came down. We're seeing things come down in explosions. This is unbelievable.
What is this? We've got a few other live feeds here. I-24.
Obviously, we're sitting tight. Ariel, I know that you wanted to give us some updates, and there was more that you wanted to add to the conversation we were having.
Pro-Iranian accounts on Telegram are posting videos from various areas in Iran, from Isfahan, from Kermanshah in the west, showing the missiles going out, being launched. And a few minutes later, we heard sirens in Israel and the IDF confirming that missiles have been launched from Iran to Israel. So there isn't much of a guessing game as to whether Iran did, for the second time, launch a significant salvo of missiles at Israel. Now, the reason I mention that this is the second time, not just for context, but unfortunately, the last strike in mid-April, that was normalized by Israel, by the international community, by the West, allowing that response, the normalizing.
And we're talking about over 300
happen.
missiles that were fired at the state of Israel from Iranian territory.
And that normalizing of such an unprecedented cross-continent attack in today's reality is what set the stage for today's strike. And unfortunately, I doubt that this will be the last time we see such a strike on behalf from Iran at Israel. And it would behoove Israeli decision makers as well as leaders in the West to look at where we are right now, what steps were taken to bring us here, and what needs to be done, because a lot needs to be done in order to prevent this from happening. And again,
what if Oman joins in the conflict? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay. 8 people killed in Jaffa.
There are 3 layers
Wait, really?
of defense within Israel. We all know about the Iron Dome, which is actually lower altitude. There's a mid-level kind of capability called David Sling, and then the very high altitude that will actually intercept these Iranian ballistic missiles in outer space is called Arrow. So it's a layered defense, but again, so many incoming missiles that we do have to be concerned about the threat of overwhelming and saturating Israeli defenses.
Mary Bruce, let's take it to you at the White House, our chief White House correspondent. I see that the president is putting out messages on Twitter.
The last report I can see is 7 wounded, 2 dead.
Now, about 17 minutes ago, saying that this morning he and the vice president convened with our national security team to discuss Iranian plans to launch an imminent missile attack against Israel. We discussed how the United States is prepared to help Israel defend against these attacks and protect American personnel in the region. What more do we know, Mary?
Well, we certainly know that the White House and the president are monitoring all of this extremely closely. The president and the vice president, they're convening that meeting, as you mentioned, with the national security team at the White House earlier this morning. And we learned from a senior White House official this morning that the U.S. is actively supporting defensive preparation.
I mean, you can literally see someone filming from their apartment building where you can see the bodies on the ground. They're sitting next to bus stops or stops for the train. Yeah, it looks like it's the train, the light train. Yeah. I think, were these 2 guys, were they coming out of a train? These are the 2 shooters. Look, they're there with proper fucking, like, automatic weapons. I don't know where they came from. The thing that's really scary is if they actually came from within Israel, because then the blowback you're going to see from, like, Ben Gvir's police and all that shit is going to be, like, disgusting. And if they came from Gaza, well, they wouldn't have come from Gaza. If they came from the West Bank, that might be different. Is your family in Lebanon? I hope they're okay. Yeah, they're still there. They're still in the mountains now. They went away from Beirut because Beirut's too scary. It looks like a home-built automatic weapon. Ah, yes, me with my... Sorry, thank God we've got the weapons identifiers in chat to notice that. Shut the fuck up. All right, hang on.
To defend Israel against this very attack. And then that key line, the White House official saying a direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences for Iran. Of course, lots of questions now about what that means.
What are your father's thoughts? My father's pretty mental, so I don't think his thoughts are going to give you that much insight.
Adamant that an all-out war in the Middle East has to be avoided. The big question is how, as you continue to see the escalation continue, Kira.
Mary, thank you. Let's take it back to our Ian panel in Beirut. Ian, bring us up to date on what is happening there, what you're hearing now.
Yeah, Kira, I mean, look, we've been talking for ages about the risks of escalation. Well, I think we can just say this has escalated, and whether anyone can put a lid on it is an open question. What we're seeing right now is you can't see it clearly on the camera, is the red dots of tracer fire going into the sky from the southern suburbs. This is Dahya, this is Hezbollah stronghold, the area that's been repeatedly hammered by the Israelis over the last couple of weeks, and people are out on the streets celebrating. Remember, Iran set up this so-called axis of resistance.
No, it's not. That doesn't mean they're past the Iron Dome. No, they can get intercepted like very, very close to the city. Like some interceptions hit, and it seems like the leftovers of the missiles landed in the sea. So that means they got all the way from Iran to Tel Aviv towards the sea, right? So because they come from the east, no, or the southeast, the arrow system.
To the border, well, yeah. This will give them succor. They feel that they will be emboldened.
Tunnels is Gaza or Lebanon? There are tunnels in Lebanon as well. We can look at that as well. The IDF actually, I'm surprised they haven't done this in. I'm surprised they haven't done this in Gaza as much, but the IDF actually declassified 3 of their missions in Lebanon. So they show you the tunnels, they show you the weapons caches, and they show you the how they located the houses where the weapons were held, and they show you them going in, and they show you what they took, what they gathered from them. So we can watch that later if you want. The tunnel system that Hezbollah has is a lot more sophisticated than Hamas's, though. Jesus. This is across the south and the central. Israeli journalist is saying 8 dead in Jaffa now. Wow. Largest paramilitary on earth? That's right. Largest non-state actor. There's a running joke in Lebanon that the Lebanese army, like the official government army, there's a running joke that they are at least in the top 5 largest militias in Lebanon. Yeah. Yeah, I saw this one as well. Yeah, the 5th strongest militia. I saw this, yeah. Not good. Are those missiles as powerful as what Israel used in Lebanon? What, the Iranian ones? I have no idea. I think it's not so much the power of these Iranian ones. The problem with these Iranian ones is that they don't seem to be aimed. They're just fired at whatever the fuck. Call Hasan, he'd know. He would know, wouldn't he? Hello, Willie Mac. Gosh. What are we saying?
You start having missiles flying into Israel, attacks here, attacks in Iran, attacks in Iraq, then things start to look potentially out of control.
Ian, let's take it from you right back to our Matt Gutman, who's out of the shelter now there in Tel Aviv. He is out on the balcony. Just in light of what Ian just said, Matt, the question remains, as phase 1 here on behalf of Iran has now taken place, how will Israel respond? How long will Israel wait? What is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu doing at this moment?
I can tell you what he's been doing over the past 15, 20 years, Kira, and that has been selecting targets. This is something that Israeli intelligence has been talking about for a long time. They know where they want to hit in Iran. They have been thinking about this. They have been accumulating intelligence through analysts, through agents on the ground for many years. They have been prepared for this. They have both the defensive capabilities to knock those missiles out of the sky that are incoming and offensive capabilities in terms of its air force and their own missiles that are capable of hitting Iran. What they select, how hard they intend to go remains obviously the biggest question at this point. I think a lot of it depends on the damage we see here in the coming hours, Kira. We're being told by security sources that the IDF is about to put out the latest bulletin about possible damage. Some of those missiles, or parts of them, have come through. We don't know if there are any casualties yet, but I'm told that they're going to inform us in the coming minutes of what happened. I don't think, from my understanding from just speaking to a military source, that there's any severe damage at that point, and that will certainly calibrate the kind of response that we're going to see from Israel. Just as we got out to this balcony again, we heard additional booms of those interceptors. Now, all of this aerial warfare, Kira, is happening tens of thousands of feet in the air, and those booms that
Trump
we hear
released a statement.
are delayed by seconds. The intercepts happening way out.
It's not on Twitter because you have
probably
this
15
Truth
miles
Social
from where
first.
we are. I saw a couple of them go out just before we ran into the shelter. Now, when we talk
right now?
about those ballistic missiles, you know, we tend to
Wait,
think.
what's Trump saying? Loner, are you Lebanese? Yep. And some parts of me are. Everything from the nipple down. Let's see.
Me now here in studio, NBC's Garrett Haake, who spoke with former President Donald Trump moments ago about this potential strike against Israel coming from Iran. What did he say?
He
said he's watching it closely, and we mostly talked about it in a political context. He said he doesn't think Iran should do it. He warned them not to do it. And he argued, as he often does on the campaign trail, that he thinks that this country, this world, is closer to World War III than at any time in recent memory. Look, from the Trump campaign's perspective, instability in the world is good for Donald Trump.
Why am I talking to you? What the fuck? Are you going to make up your own opinions or bring on an actual expert on the subject of missiles such as Hasan? Yeah, listen, I don't know anything about missiles, okay? We're not taking up that rule.
Campaigner here domestically, they look around and see wars in the Middle East and in Ukraine, and they say this is a Kamala Harris, Joe Biden problem. I want to be the solution for it. Now, that requires a certain suspension of memory from his own presidency not that long ago, but I think in the context of the debate.
Well, they say that the attack was planned in 2 waves, no? Apparently, U.S. intel said they were planning 2 waves, 15 minutes apart. So have there been new strikes?
Tonight, I would be shocked if this is not something that J.D. Vance pushes on the debate stage to argue that this unstable world that we're living in is a product of, he will say, a weak presidency in the United States right now.
Yeah, as far as that debate coming up, does this change the approach at all, do we anticipate?
It may. I mean, look, I think the issues that...
The interesting thing is Iran have said that, or it seems like the Iranians have actually picked targets. They were apparently targeting the Mossad headquarters near Tel Aviv, the Israeli airbase at Nevatim, and the airbase at Katzarim, would that be it? Or Katzarim, in parts of the Negev. But there's been at least 2 waves. Is that where they've been going, though? Is that the direction they've been going into?
Motivate American voters are almost always domestic issues unless you're talking about a full-scale war. It's the economy. Our polling shows this. It's the cost of everything. The Trump campaign wants it to be immigration. I think those are issues that will still probably be the primary driver to the degree that a VP debate moves anybody's mind. It's the discussion.
They say this, but they're not guided. Yeah, I can't imagine. Again, not even to mention, the other question is, where is Iran's cause for war against Israel? It's not really how that works. Like, I could go into America and kill like 200 soldiers and be like, whoa, look, I aim for military targets. But it's like, okay, why are you going to a war with America? What do they do to you? Like, fuck.
Of those issues that make a difference. But a major shooting war in the Middle East is one of the very, very few things that I think could break through and alter the way that Americans are thinking about a race. We'll see if it sort of overshadows tonight specifically, or if this is a story with a much longer tail through November.
All right. Thank you so much for bringing us that latest reporting.
This is apparently them being launched from Iran. Jesus.
Israel has been ignoring U.S., European, and Arab leaders all calling for a temporary ceasefire and continuing its strikes against Lebanon, hitting Beirut for the first time and preparing troops to go in on the ground and by sea. U.S. officials have told NBC News they had no warning from Israel of the massive strike that killed Hezbollah leader Hasan Nasrallah, who was also the mastermind behind attacks against hundreds of Americans, starting with the 1983 bomb.
Oh, okay. MSNBC. Okay.
Of rockets, but these are big. They're almost as long as a police siren. Kira.
So let's put this in perspective then, Matt, as you just described the ballistic missile in detail, its capability, its size, the kind of destruction it can leave behind. If we look back to Iran launching it was about 120 ballistic missiles and dozens of cruise missiles and hundreds of drones back in April. You were saying 99% of those were intercepted. Our Martha Raddatz also telling us that as well. Now Iran expected to carry out 2 waves here and launch 240 to 250 missiles, aiming at 4 targets there in Israel, including Mossad headquarters and 3 air bases. Let's talk about, although we want to remind folks when Iran launched those missiles last time around and 99% of them were intercepted, we are talking about double this time around and 2 waves.
Yeah, the potential for damage is much more significant. The biggest concern is the swarming factor, right? If they fire a lot of them at once, Israel's air defenses are incapable of handling, of filtering through all of the missiles. Had they fired maybe 200 at once, it would have been an even bigger threat. But still, salvos of several dozen at a time offers a very complex algorithm for the air defenses to try to knock down. So there's a lot of deconfliction that happens with those missiles. And you talked about the missiles itself and the damage that they can cause. It really depends on what is loaded in the warhead, right? It can be a chemical or biological weapon. It can have a significant amount of ammunition, of explosives, and that also determines how far these missiles go. So if you want them to go farther, you load them with less.
Is this true? Are people like happy about this in Gaza right now? Is this like? I mean, it looks like it. It's like fucking Elon Levy's Twitter, but it looks like it's the same. It looks like that would be the Iranian rockets. I'd be so curious to know what kind of what the media feed these people are getting, because how the fuck are you do you think this is actually gonna help you in any way if you're living in Gaza? Why wouldn't they be happy? Should they weep? I feel like if you're in Gaza, if you had full access to all the information, you'd probably know that this ain't gonna help you at all. It's not gonna do anything for you. You'd expect it to be? Yeah, I'm not surprised by it, but it just also makes me wonder, what kind of information that they get, because it's not gonna. Everyone knows that won't help them. If you know the information, if you have a reasonable intake of news, but I don't know. Do they have connections to the internet and social media? They're getting news, yeah. It's just the problem is that the news they'll be getting is kind of bullshit. But let's see. 1 injury so far. We don't know how many injuries there will be. This is another one of them landing. Fuck me.
נפילות, אחי, נפילות של החיים בנבטים. נפילות בנבטים, אחי. נפילות קשות בנבטים, שומע? וואו, 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 וואו.
וואו.
וואו! הכל נופל לנבטים, אני אומר לך, מתקפה אחת החזקות. אימא'לה, זהו, למקלט.
Jesus. Are those all just landing in the sea, or what the fuck? In the video the guy is saying, "Wow, they raped us," in Hebrew. Really? Interesting. Where are they seeing this from? Is this within Israel? Is this an Arab part of Israel, or is this West Bank? Those are all shot down missiles, potentially. I've no idea. This is how small it is. So this is them in the West Bank. They can see this from because that looks like the sea. That bit of black there would just be the sea. Yeah, those are most likely fragments. So far, it looks like everything was shot down. Has anyone actually reported anything landing properly? Second wave inbound. Looks like, I thought you said both waves were done.
And that's what we don't know yet. What was on these things? We don't think that there's any threat of chemical, biological, or atomic warfare.
One building direct hit in Tel Aviv.
Point, but how much
paying attention to what Matt Gutman's been reporting about some kind of an attack with a number of casualties coming outside of a subway system and maybe onto a bus. So the police here in this country are paying particular attention for any kind of copycats, Kira.
Steve Ganyard, let me take that to you. Firsthand experience. If we think of attacks that have happened across the country, there always is a fear back here at home that citizens of the United States will be targeted as well. Since the Hamas attacks in Israel, we have been on high alert here in the United States over the past year. Your thoughts as New York is already responding with regard to security? Could we start to see this, say, at synagogues across the U.S.? As Aaron mentions, the high holiday. We're coming up on 1 year since the October 7th attack, and now Iran launching one of what we are told will be 2 waves of attacks into Israel.
Yeah, I think, times have changed. And
okay, thank you, God. Wow, apparently, so... Who the fuck said this was a homemade gun? I'm sorry. So these are the 2 shooters. Apparently, well, that's actually the full photo of this. I saw this earlier. That's like a person. Obviously, that's a person lying, like who's on their who's lying down at this shelter. We're not one gang. I don't care. We're not arguing about whether or not this gun is homemade. Third Intifada? I have no idea. Like, Intifada is probably going to take a bit more than... It depends on whether or not it was coordinated, depends on where it came from, depends on whether or not there's going to be copycats. Depends on a lot of things. It's a 3D printed JDAM. Wow.
A direct confrontation with the Iranian regime rather than a broader...
So what we might have now, potentially, is I imagine Israel will retaliate. And Iran have said that if Israel retaliates, then their response to the Israeli response will be far more ruinous than whatever they've just done now. More crushing and more ruinous. So, I don't even know, like, is this how... What are the prospects of that? What are the prospects of there actually being like like a ballistic missile war between Israel and fucking Iran? God, that's definitely going to draw the United States in if that becomes a thing.
A broader retaliation in the volume and scale that the Mullah regime in Tehran has not experienced yet. The Mullah regime has conducted sort of an act of despair, trying to stop the avalanche of its proxies following the major blows that Hezbollah, the major proxy of the Iranians, sustained in the last couple of weeks. It may be counterproductive because the Israeli expected counter-retaliation to the attack on Israel may result in a very dire situation for the Mullah regime.
I think we lost contact with Avi. We will try to bring him back into the conversation. Ian, panel, let me take it back to you in Beirut. Are we hearing anything on behalf of Iran?
Yeah, in fact, we've had a couple of statements in the last hour or so. First of all, the Iranians released still images, photos of some of those missiles being launched. They were sent to a semi-official state news agency. First statement comes from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Command. It says that the operation was conducted based on a decision made in the Supreme National Security Council and with the support of the army. It says that the attacks were partly in retaliation.
Looks like our Jordanian correspondent actually filmed two of his own. These are filmed from Jordan. Can you guess who filmed these?
Oh my god. It's happening. It's happening. Okay. I think I will get inside. Oh my god. It's happening. It's happening. Okay. I think I will get inside. It's getting a bit too noisy here.
Oh no.
I'm so glad I didn't miss it. But for some reason there are no alarms here, so I don't know what's happening. Oh, there was an explosion right there. My camera is fucking shit, I don't know. Okay, I'm getting inside. I do not want to fuck around and find out.
Who said we don't interact with on-the-ground journalists here, eh? Okay. A fragment actually did hit Jordan, so well done, Sundowner. This is a fragment in Jordan. I'm guessing the Jordanians intercepted some of these as well then, right? If it's landed here.
شباب هاي صاروخ بسحاب يا غايلين هاي صاروخ وقع هسه بسحاب هاي شباب هاي صاروخ بسحاب يا غايلين هاي صاروخ وقع هسه بسحاب هاي
Someone checked Finkelstein's Twitter. Why are these people so fucking retarded, man? Why? Okay, whatever. That's a VGG chatter. That's a VGG mod. You think that's bait? Okay. Well, I mean, that person is kind of silly, so it's hard to tell sometimes. Why are you guys notifying me so much? Okay, initial statement by the IRGC. I already saw this. They're striking important military targets. If the Zionist regime responds, they will face violent attacks. Yeah. I mean, it's very clear Israel's going to respond with something. They're going to respond with something. But I don't know. I don't really know how prepared everyone is for a fucking... for a ballistic missile war. How often have we had those? Is that a thing? Ballistic war? Is that a thing that has happened where it's just two countries from that far away just fight each other by launching ballistics back and forth for ages? Did Israel respond last time? Yeah. They didn't do all that much though, did they? Didn't they just strike like a couple of targets and call it a day? I think Israel responded to the last one in the most tepid way I've ever seen Israel respond to anything. I think the last attack from Israel, I've seen them react harder to people throwing stones at them. Like, I swear to God, like, Israel has probably reacted harder to stones thrown at tanks in the past than they have to that last strike from Iran. But didn't they hit some depots or some shit? I'm obviously being hyperbolic, okay? Every fucking Zionoid in chat. Chill. Jesus. Okay. What's the cokehead saying? He's still just watching the skyline. Okay.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, the Trump statement. Did we just completely gloss over that? Hang on. New impacts. Wait, really? Not over Tel Aviv. This is live.
But apparently Israelis are now being told they can leave their protected areas. Yes, Lazar Berman also says the IDF, he's with Times of Israel, the IDF Home Front Command says public, at least where he is, can leave their protected areas.
Okay.
Oh no, Manny Fabian says ordered back into shelter. Hold on, now Manny Fabian from Times of Israel just said he was ordered back into shelter. He just posted that. So I don't know if they can leave their area.
Okay, don't watch this guy for your... Just, if you're Israeli, look at your apps and don't listen to me or this guy. Fuck me. Because I listened to someone in chat. Is this breaking news? Has Iran launched another wave? I don't think I've seen a Trump comment on this, but okay. Apparently another wave has been launched. Yeah, there was only one wave, wasn't there? There was only one wave. I think there was only one wave, wasn't there? The second one hasn't come. The tweet from Fabian's an hour old. Oh my fucking God. All right. 2 waves are expected. Yeah, but I know I've seen one. I don't think I've seen the other one yet. Stop saying there are 2 waves. Oh, there have been 2 already. Okay, thank you. All right, fuck. Hang on. This is why we don't do breaking news. ABC is the most viewed. Okay. What are we saying?
From a White House official earlier today saying that a direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences for Iran. What exactly that looks like, we still do not know. And as you were just discussing, of course, the president in the days leading up to this has been calling for a ceasefire, saying that while an all-out war is possible, the president was adamant we really have to avoid it. Of course, that is a hard sentiment to see how that is possible, given what we are seeing play out right now, Kira.
Steve Ganyard.
This war was totally preventable. It should have never happened. If I were president, it would not have happened. Fucking retard. Absolutely disgusting, fat fuck piece of shit. Like, okay.
For Iran.
Well, Kara, I think that the White House has said that the Israelis have at least relayed to them that there will be economic targets. Remember that the real threat to Israel is the Iranian nuclear program, and that has been developing, and the ability for the Iranians to create a what's called a breakout capability to be able to build a nuclear weapon in a short period of time is very close and very near at hand. You're seeing these ballistic missiles tonight raining down on Israel that theoretically could be the same kind of ballistic missiles that could carry one of those nuclear warheads. So as Avi was noting, at some point, this is going to have to come to a head, at least in the eyes of the Israelis.
Uh-oh. Apparently a missile fell in Jenin. Look at the size of it. Right. That's what we love about those Axis bombings, eh? Those Axis solidarity bombings. The fact is, isn't Jenin where the shootings happened? Jenin is a more mixed community, though, isn't it? Doesn't Jenin have quite a large Arab population? No, not Jenin. Jaffa, where the shootings happened. Think about Jaffa. Watch party. Yeah, Jaffa's like almost 40% Arab, and that's where the shootings happened. That's your Axis solidarity attack. It's almost like a trademark, isn't it? It's almost like the signature Axis fucking response is to kill. It's like they're trying to take out like 1 or 2 Arabs every fucking time. There's no way it's an accident, right? Anyway. Wait, does Trump have a response video? Is this a joke? What is this? What's he doing? This is before the strike, no? 5:39.
Like us, China also saw their weakness. So did Putin. Then he invaded Ukraine. Hamas saw Harris' anti-Israel statements.
What? Oh my God, he's such scum of the earth. Again, I have no sympathy for a country that allows this person to even have a chance of becoming president again. Fuck you guys. Like.
And will use it as a green light to keep murdering Israelis. And Iran thinks Harris is so incompetent. New intel shows they're trying to help Harris win the election. America doesn't need another TikTok performer. We need the strength that will protect us.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Wait, why does the Trump recording, why does that sound AI as well?
J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Why does that sound AI? They've just compressed the shit out of it to make him sound more intense, more manly. Did he record that from the bathroom? Wow. Oh, man. But yeah, apparently he tweeted that around the same time as the missiles were fired. Cornflower, thanks for the $2. Iran-Iraq war was the ballistic exchange heavy. Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? They did actually do a ballistic exchange there. Oh, we've word from the Rear Admiral. No additional threats heading towards Israel from Iran currently, indicating that the missile attack is over. Residents were notified a short while ago they can leave their bomb shelters after an hour. During the defense, we carried out a few interceptions. There are some impacts in the center and areas in the south of the country. At this stage, we are still carrying out an assessment of the attack, unaware of casualties. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you won't get news of injuries or deaths or anything like that until later. I think, what was it last time they killed like a Bedouin girl? Or a Bedouin, it was a Bedouin child. I don't know if it was a girl, but Biden orders U.S. military to shoot. Okay, what the fuck? What are all these stupid update? Vice Grad is saying another wave was fired. This is bullshit, right? This is if the IDF said get out of the shelters, there's no way another wave was fired, right? That's bullshit. The Bedouin girl was injured. Ah, okay. So they didn't even kill her. I do not trust Vice Grad. Yeah, they try really hard to be the first ones reporting, like even before mainstream media. So that means they absolutely are willing to risk being wrong several times in the process. There are 8 dead in Jaffa, but that's because of the shootings. Like, I've never seen someone say make it make sense, but actually pose a conundrum that was actually thoughtful in any way. Israel bombs Beirut, defending itself. Iran bombs Tel Aviv, terrorism, make it make sense. There are so many levels. There are so many levels of why the latter is not the same as the former. It's like, it's not, and we know it's not like a sincere fucking plea to make it make sense. It's just, fuck me. Can't say shit real didn't deserve this. In fact, I hope Tel Aviv actually burns, not gonna lie. Wait, what? As if that's like a, where's this from? Wait, where's this from? Why is this Discord? Why are you sending me random fucking... What Discord is this from? Wait. Do I need to guess which Discord this is from? I think this is from Hasan's Discord. Motherfuckers sure love crying when they are hit with a small fraction of what they dish out daily to others. Can they do it already out of class? Israel launching nukes is so stupid and self-destructive that I could see them doing it. Iron Dome L's so far. Well, I guess these guys don't know what interceptions look like. Okay. Direct hits everywhere. This is, we don't know this at all for a fact. Interceptions also go when they land. As much as I think the Iron Dome is sick, its protection has allowed the Israelis to become one of the most vicious monsters on Earth. Okay. You can see the Iron Dome failing to intercept live IRL. Oh, they really want it to happen, don't they? They really just want some fucking Jews to die. And logically speaking, they want a couple of Arabs to die with them because it's a fifth of Israel's population. Why? They know these weapons are not accurate, right? These are the civilians in Gaza, by the way. What the fuck are you talking? Shut the fuck up. Don't ever put civilian in quotation marks in my fucking stream again, you subhuman cunt. Fuck off. Come back in a day, maybe. I'm sorry. Don't fucking say that. These are not people from Gaza, you naive motherfucker. These are people... These are white people, okay? These are like, most of these people are white. Stop. Civilian chatter, quotation marks. 8 killed in Tel Aviv. What do they expect? I love how you can say, what do they expect, when Hezbollah between 2006 and October 7th, I don't even know how few rockets they fire, but it wasn't that many at all. Hezbollah started firing rockets on October 8th. That's what they did. They aggressed on a sovereign state and displaced like 60,000 people. Hold on, if the Iron Dome is down like this, doesn't this mean that Israeli airspace is now vulnerable to air attacks? Oh my god. Bro, I'd be so embarrassed to have a Discord like this. These guys don't know anything. They're just making shit up as they go along. What the fuck? It's because they saw a few pops in the fucking sea, or a few bits of pieces of missile landing, and they're like, now is our chance. If only there was someone with the power to stop all this with one simple phone call. Jill Stein. Thanks, Iran. This was the best birthday present I could ask for. I wish Iran could just say fuck it and level all buildings in Tel Aviv. It's not a callous thing to say, since we know all Israelis will be in bunkers, then no civilian cost. But they should feel the foreign cost of war. Oh, what? So if you evacuate a building, it's fine. If you make an evacuation warning from a civilian building, you can... bunkers? Have you seen an Israeli bomb shelter, bro? Hang on. an Israeli bomb shelter. It's a fucking box made of brick. Look how small it is. Bunkers. Where does he think they're going? It's a little cement square. Okay. Don't care what happens to Israelis, to be honest. May all the Zionist dogs burn in hellfire. Good luck, bub. I wonder what's the trial and error return rate for this? Like, how much trial and error do you have to go through to learn that these strikes actually do dick all and tend to yield massive repercussions? Like, gosh. Read the last one. Is Russia invade Egypt, turn it to a six-front war? Only one. Wait, what? You blow up a random house in Israel, you're guaranteed to kill at least one pedophile and one child killer. And only one person lives there. It's so fucking ignorant, man. That has to be anti-Semitic. Yeah, it's pretty anti-Semitic. I don't know what that blue name means. Regulator. Wait. Regulate. Okay, so they're... Jesus, Hasan. Hasan. These are your guys. I don't know if it means mod, but I don't know who that JJ person is, but regulator, probably some kind of mod, yeah. Huh. Channel 13. Wait, there's no way. Sorry, I can't. This isn't even funny. Like, it's just sad if this is true. If this is true, it's like, how do people tweet that shit when they don't know, when they can't show you where the actual reporting is? Channel 13. What have they said about the strikes? Is it because Channel 13 is only in Hebrew? You've got to get it Google translated. My home rattled like a mofo. Yeah. Sorry about that. These are the civilians. Shut the fuck up. I know, it's just someone is saying that there's news from Channel 13 about one reported dead from the attacks. But I don't know. Apparently one person is reported dead in the attacks, and if it's true, it's just... Hang on. Is it Channel 12? No reports of injuries to Channel 12 45 minutes ago. They say, are you getting that from Twitter or are you getting that from the actual news site? Don't give me tweets. What's this? There was a restaurant that was hit. Northern Tel Aviv. That's not a direct hit. That's not a direct hit. I don't think a ballistic missile doing that to a restaurant, okay? You wouldn't know what the fuck it was. Yeah, that would be interception. That would be debris. Direct hit next to shoreline. Oh, so they direct hit the shoreline and what? So if it because I imagine if it was actually going to be landing in the sea, they'd probably just leave it, right? Because they don't want to waste the fucking munition on it. But I don't know. Don't know how it works. Is this real? Are there actually people dead in Jericho? Is there someone dead in Jericho? And there are two people. No, yeah, there's one person there being covered. Yeah. I'm seeing that getting reported everywhere. People are saying that someone died in Jericho. Jericho is in Palestine, by the way. It's in the West Bank. He was from Gaza. Why is it? How does that happen? Why does every Axis attack on Israel kill Arabs? Why? Every single fucking time. Why do they keep doing that? No shelters in the West Bank. Yeah. It's not even close to Israel. It's not even close. It's here. This is Jericho right here. It's like basically near by the Jordan. It's a pretty small place as well. So were they killed by an interceptor? They would have been aiming for Jerusalem. Jerusalem's pretty mixed as well. Okay. The footage I saw from Arara was crazy. Arara? What the fuck is Arara? Arara. Oh, right. Okay, meme review from Spider. Okay, why not? Israel right now.
Are you there? The silo doors are opening on the sub. I repeat, the silo doors are opening on the sub. Christ, come in! They're opening the silo doors on the sub. Come on, hurry! Christ, do you copy? The silo doors are open! I repeat, the silo doors are open! Good. Wait, Christ, no! We have a nuclear missile launch! Missile in the air! Missile in the air! Code black!
Okay. Whatever. This was just one of the warning maps from the first wave. Yeah, it was pretty widespread. That means there were warnings in the West Bank as well, but probably not in particular like Area A, right? Damaged school?
כל הקירות מרוסקים.
That is a damaged
תראו איזה
school.
מכתש. יא אלוהים, איזה מכתש. טיל ישר מאיראן. איזה מכתש, אמרתי, כל הגדר מרוסקת פה. בכפר סבא אני, אצל לקוח בחנות, אזעקה, מטר בחוץ, בום, נופל על זה. יא אלוהים. הטיל רודף אחריך. מה זה המכתש הזה, יא אלוהים? מטורף.
Okay, well, looks like it's the Axis of Resistance special. Yep, it's a bunch of shit damaged, and the first person to die is a Palestinian. That's it. That's about right. That's the average Axis of Resistance counterstrike. We are waitful for further reporting. Maybe, inshallah, maybe they hit some fucking chicken farms up in down in the Gaza envelope. Oh, the IDF YouTube channel's already been putting up the old city. That is so many things. Okay. An interesting thing here is that the IDF actually, I was mentioning this earlier, the IDF for once.
Its borders.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was binging IDF content today because I just wanted to see. I feel like I don't watch enough of these. I got to see what's going on.
Its border.
They, for some reason, I don't know why. They should have done this in Gaza. This would have been a much more valuable thing to do. They've decided to do, what do you call it? They've decided to declassify 3 of their missions in southern Lebanon to show you, like, what they were targeting. And, I guess it's actually it's fairly detailed. Most of this channel is it's fairly horse shit. I don't know. Some of it's just Hagari statements. This is just like a video of a guy. Oh, look, this guy's, they're just preparing to go in, like stupid military hype, whatever. But this one was actually fairly interesting.
Its border.
Because they declassified their raids on 3 towns, 3 villages, or no, it was two villages and one sort of like area just between the borders, like one tunnel trench site.
On October 8th, the Hezbollah terrorist organization in Lebanon launched an unprovoked attack on Israel. Hezbollah chose to join the war that Hamas started on October 7th with their brutal massacre in southern Israel. Since then, Hezbollah has fired over 9,500 rockets at Israeli homes, families, and communities, forcing 60,000 Israelis to evacuate their homes. Hezbollah has openly declared that it plans to carry out its own October 7th massacre on Israel's northern border, but on an even larger scale. They call this plan Conquer the Galilee. For years, Hezbollah has been planning to do in northern Israel what
this Iran strike definitely helped Lebanon and Gaza, right? No, I don't think it did at all. Okay, let's see. That's a good, yeah, I got you. I see what you did there. Saw what you did there. Okay.
Hamas did in southern Israel on October 7th. Invade Israel, infiltrate civilian communities, and massacre innocent civilians. To make sure that Hezbollah can never carry out such an attack, and in order to enable all 60,000 Israelis to safely return back to their homes in northern Israel, the IDF is taking action. Hezbollah planned to launch their October 7th attack from villages across southern Lebanon, where they have been building up their arms capabilities and forces for the last 2 decades.
Kick Streamer was live during the Tel Aviv bombings.
Okay, guys, we gotta get off the roof. These
we watched this. Yeah, the fucking yeah. We gotta get off the. What? We gotta get out of here. Damn, get the hell out of here. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, no shit, bro.
Hezbollah also dug tunnels.
There are bombs going off, bro. We gotta get away from the glass. That's crazy, chat. Is this real?
Under homes in these villages close to the border with Israel.
Hezbollah was gonna do a 10-7 part 2. It's like Hezbollah have been aspiring to a cross-border assault on Israel since, like, at least 2015. That's obviously they used to do cross-border raids, 2006. In 2018, there were videos of the IDF finding Hezbollah tunnels emerging in Israel, and then they find them before they've actually launched the operation, and then they close it. So how serious they were about actually carrying it out, I imagine they didn't, because they didn't really get the opportunity. Hamas obviously had an opportunity when they did their one, but Hezbollah, yeah, that's been an aspiration of theirs for ages. Yeah. So if you look at, when I was in Israel, I was given this little video that they've been showing as well. It was one that was actually, Hezbollah were not shy about this. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between Hezbollah and Hamas, is that Hezbollah they don't hide as much as Hamas does. So, like, they'll tell you when they've lost people. Like, they claimed most of the people who died from the pager and walkie-talkie explosions. They even actually told us how many people were injured. They told us that at least half of the people who were injured in those pager attacks were Hezbollah fighters who were completely out of commission, like done. They can't fight ever again. That's not even to mention the ones who were injured and then discharged, like, who were only temporarily injured. They didn't mention that, but they give you quite a lot of information. So their offensive plan was a thing that they actually put on Arab media in 2015.
سيناريو تقدم حزب الله إلى الجليل بحسب دراسات غربية وتقديرات إسرائيلية. تجمع التقارير والدراسات على أن حزب الله يدرب 5,000 مقاتل للسيطرة على مدن الجليل الأعلى ومستوطناته. قسمت هذه الدراسات المقاتلين إلى 5 فرق. هدفها الاستيلاء على 5 قطاعات من الجليل الأعلى. يتولى حزب الله إمطار منطقة الشمال بمئات الصواريخ دفعة واحدة.
Accompanying it.
حدود وتجعل البحر الأبيض المتوسط ويرى عليها قدم فرقة بائتلاف وكم أمرا معقدا. في الوقت عينه ترجح الدراسات أن على الوصول يمسك بالطريق 85 يتيح قطع الربط بين البحر المتوسط والصد الإسرائيلية القادمة من قواعدها.
are largely populated by Palestinians. So I don't even. Here's what it is.
Tonight, we are declassifying a series of IDF operations conducted since the beginning of the war, aimed at dismantling Hezbollah's terrorist infrastructure and capabilities in the area of the Israel-Lebanon border as part of our efforts to make sure that the residents of northern Israel can return to their home in safety and security without the threat of Hezbollah on their doorstep. During these operations, IDF Special Forces entered into Hezbollah compounds in dozens of locations along the border with Israel, collected intelligence, dismantled Hezbollah's weapons and terrorist infrastructures. Our soldiers entered Hezbollah's underground infrastructures, exposed Hezbollah's hidden weapon caches, and seized and destroyed the weapons, including advanced Iranian-made weapons. Overall, IDF soldiers exposed and dismantled over 700 Hezbollah terror assets during these operations. And there's a lot more work to do. Tonight, I will declassify details of 3 of these special operations. This is the village of Misl Jabal. It is a Lebanese village close to the border with Israel, only a few hundred meters away from the Israeli city of Kiryat.
Blink twice if you're being held hostage. There's something about the way Daniel Hagari speaks, especially when he does it in English. It's like, I feel like I don't want to believe anything he says. He just seems so fucking unconvincing. Oh, is that Omar in chat saying that I was paid by the Israelis again? The guy who thinks that Hamas should shoot people in the head if they try to flee Gaza. That guy. That fucking psycho. All right.
Since the beginning of the war, the majority of over 20,000 residents of Kiryat Shmona had to evacuate their homes after coming under fire from Hezbollah's relentless attacks. We have operated against hundreds of terrorist targets embedded inside Misl Jabal, which directly threatened the city of Kiryat Shmona and the wider northern region. Many of the Lebanese residents of Misl Jabal...
Update 6 dead in Jaffa, not 8 as reported before. Okay. It's interesting that they would pick Jaffa as a target, but maybe they assumed it would be less well defended because it's an Arab community, or like largely Arab community.
Have left the area due to the Hezbollah terrorist activities. As part of this operation, we collected intelligence on this house, on the edge of the Lebanese village, near the border with Israel, which you can see here. The house...
They probably are from Jaffa. Iman, why would you spread even that fucking assumption right away? Why the fuck would you do that? Like, I'm sorry. What? If you don't know, you don't know. Stop giving ideas to Ben Gavir's police officers, okay? Jesus.
The house was used by Hezbollah terrorists who dug underground infrastructure below it. This combat infrastructure was used by the terrorists to store weapons and was planned to be the preparation area for Hezbollah terrorists before attempting to invade Israeli territory. During the operation, the troops conducted a targeted raid on the house and revealed a large amount of weapons stored on the ground floor. In the basement, our soldiers found an elevated platform built to hide a shaft that led to an underground tunnel. The soldiers exposed the tunnel 150 meters long that did not cross into Israeli territory, that was excavated in stone. At the end of the activity, we dismantled...
It's amazing that they're confident enough to show you how they navigate the tunnels. Why would you show that? I feel like if you were military, you wouldn't want your enemy... I guess they'd probably find out because they would probably see you doing it.
To hide a shaft that led to an underground tunnel. The soldiers exposed the tunnel 150 meters long that did not cross...
Hey, that little guy. Let him go.
...into Israeli territory that was excavated in stone. At the end of the activity, we dismantled the tunnel and the house in a joint ground and aerial strikes. Another example is the Lebanese village of Farkile, on the border just a few hundred meters away from the Israeli town of Metula. Metula has been one of the most heavily attacked Israeli communities over the last year. We have conducted hundreds of strikes and operations against Hezbollah terror infrastructure in Farkile in order to remove these threats to Israeli families that want to go back home. In one operation, we followed precise intelligence regarding an underground tunnel used by Hezbollah to hide weapons. IDF soldiers conducted targeted raid on this house, and during scans in the children's room, there, under the bed, they located an underground tunnel shaft. The soldiers went inside the tunnel shaft and revealed a 100-meter-long underground tunnel excavated.
What were they looking at on that wall to show it was a children's room?
And during scans in the
what are these scans?
Soldiers conducted targeted raid on this house. And during scans in
why are we watching propaganda? I mean, I don't know where else you want this information. Like, do you expect the IDF to declassify all this shit to some other army for them to do the reporting for them, or what?
The children's room, there, under the bed, they located an underground tunnel shaft. The soldiers went inside the tunnel shaft and revealed a 100-meter-long underground tunnel excavated in stone. The troops scanned the tunnel and found weapons stored in barrels. In one of the rooms, they exposed weapons storage facility intended to be used by Hezbollah on the day of the planned invasion. At the end of the operation, the house, the tunnel, and the arsenal of weapons were dismantled in a ground and aerial strikes.
Yeah, just so you guys know, if you want your disclaimer, like, of course, this is obviously like a form of propaganda. It's fucking IDF's YouTube channel, and obviously they've only declassified the missions that were completely successful. For example, if there was one of these missions, of which they said there were dozens, if there was one of these missions that they failed and shot like fucking 3 kids whilst turning around a corner, they're not going to declassify that one and put it on their fucking YouTube channel, okay? We're obviously being shown the successful missions, yeah.
The final example is an operation against Hezbollah's infrastructure in the area of...
Here's where we didn't find anything, as a show of good faith. Not everyone gets everything right in war. There will always be mistakes. There will always be tragedy. There will always be civilian collateral damage. Here are 3 toddlers we accidentally shot during a misidentification and in a panic, because unfortunately, as a country that's constantly under threat, we have to conscript fucking bedwetters right out of school for our forces. And, you know, these guys are young and they're scared and they're inexperienced. And, you know, some of them just lose their heads sometimes. And what can you do, eh? Maybe stop attacking us, though. Just a show of good faith. Fuck. Yeah, you're not going to get that from this channel. Sorry.
Nurit, which is between Israel's border...
Even though it obviously happens, yeah.
...and the Lebanese village of Tel Aviv. Since the beginning of the war, IDF troops have struck hundreds of Hezbollah targets, including military outposts, rocket launchers, and weapon storage facilities in the area. Using classified technological means, we identified the Hezbollah combat and underground...
How do we know... how come we never heard of these raids? Were there no people there? Well, I don't know. These raids were very recent, so we're hearing about them because they're recent, but I don't know if they're special forces. Are they straight out of school? No, special forces are more likely to be more experienced, yeah. But actually, I mean, you can have a special forces operator who's new on the job, right? Like that guy in Fauda who joins the special forces and he joins a really experienced unit, but then he gives himself away by speaking bad Arabic or some shit. Yeah. Anyway. So that obviously happens because I watched it in Fauda, but the raids were months ago. These raids no, what the fuck? Okay, wait, hang on. I thought these special forces raids in the north were recent, no? They reported these were operations from last year. Oh, okay. Well, in any case, it is making me wonder where the fuck the Hezbollah people were. These are just declassified from since October. Ah, okay. So they went for areas that weren't protected. Okay.
Classified technological means, we identified the Hezbollah combat and underground preparation area built near the village. The compound that you see here included a system of combat trenches above and below ground. This network of trenches connects to an underground tunnel which includes weapon storage facility, a command and control center, and the preparation and living spaces for Hezbollah terrorists. This is how the compound looked from footage recorded on IDF soldiers' body cameras. Our soldiers raided combat trenches at the top of the mountain. They scanned them and found an access point to a tunnel route that goes down below the ground, in the direction of the Lebanese village. The soldiers went deep inside the tunnel, where they found large numbers of weapons stored in the living compounds. At the end of the operation, all of the infrastructure built by Hezbollah over many years was dismantled in a joint ground and aerial activity. The operation that we declassified tonight are only a small number of dozens of operations that will be revealed going forward, including the destruction of Hezbollah's strategic assets and capabilities. Hezbollah has built, prepared, and equipped this infrastructure over many years in preparation for the day that...
Large number of weapons shows one shotgun.
Inside the tunnel, where they found large numbers of weapons stored in the living compounds. At the end of the operation, all of the infrastructure built by Hezbollah over many years was dismantled in a joint ground and aerial activity. The operation that we declassified tonight are only a small number of dozens of operations that will be revealed going forward, including the destruction of Hezbollah's strategic assets and capabilities. Hezbollah has built, prepared, and equipped this infrastructure over many years in preparation for the day that it would carry out an invasion into northern Israel. In one of the buildings that our troops raided, we found proof of this. This is a map that Hezbollah planned to give its terrorists at the time of a wide-scale...
What does that say? I hate this fucking font. Some bullshit.
...invasion into the state of Israel, as part of its Conquer the Galilee plan to carry out an October 7th massacre in Israel's north.
Oh.
As you can see on the map...
What does this say? Radwan operations.
There is a key marking Israeli communities, IDF posts, access roads, and targets for attack.
What do we think? Are these actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? 1,500 cookies for Ahmed's 8th birthday. That would be very embarrassing. Hagari is definitely fucking quintuple checking he's quintuple checking every single Arabic translation possible, right?
We found this map on one of the compounds that was supposed to be used by thousands of Hezbollah terrorists on the day they carried out their invasion.
The footage Hagari showed her snippets of multiple longer videos where more weapons are visible. This is from today. Oh, they actually had more footage. Whoa! A lot of fucking machinery. Big bullet.
תיקי שהייה, הכל. בתוך החביות יש תחמושת נשקים ומדים. נשקים לתיקים ערוכים עם מדים. נשקים סגורים.
נשקי קלאץ', מאות מחסניות קלאץ', ברזל ופולימרים, תאונות מלאות בכדורים, 160 רימוני יד.
Oh, it's a grenade.
ערכות עזרה ראשונה, תחמושת קלאץ', חש ורגיל.
Oh, he censored this. He censored this in the IDF video. Why? Is this like advanced Iranian technology? What the fuck is this? Why am I asking chat? You're all just gonna liken it to the closest fucking match you can find in your Call of Duty shit.
עובד צלפים.
A thermal scope.
מדהים. עוד חבית מלאה בכדורי קלאץ'.
Computer charger.
אזור 20,000 כדור. לא, לצד ההוני. שימו לב כמה אמל"ח. אותן צד, שימו פה
כמות רש"קים ומטענים ונשקים מטורפת.
זה כדורים. וסביב תחמושת צבאית של 30,000 כדור, גם דרגונוב, גם קלאץ', של הכל מהכל. שימו לב לחדר כאן, מצבור אמל"ח.
JDAMs, okay. Apparently there's like a longer article talking about these operations and all the footage that was released.
Our precise operations against Hezbollah throughout the war have degraded Hezbollah's ability to carry out an October 7 style invasion along our northern border. Israel warned Hezbollah that it will bear the consequences of its attacks against Israel. However, Hezbollah continued its aggression.
I wonder if someone's gonna pick up this video and focus on the part where he said large numbers of weapons when the camera only points at one shotgun, and actually just say that this is an example of IDF propaganda. If I was a left winger, I'd do it. If I was on that side, I would do it. If like a far left person, I would go fucking ape.
Continue to expand its range of fire against Israeli civilians and continue to drag the people of Lebanon towards a wider escalation. Our war is not with the people of Lebanon. It's with Hezbollah. This is a clear message to the international community. For years, Israel has warned the world that Hezbollah is violating international law and United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701, which prohibits...
God, the Israelis love 1701. They love it. Let's go, international law. Woo. It's funny that they say blue line and the Litani free of any armed personnel. Were they couching when they said this? Were they kind of just like hedging? Because 1701 also says Lebanon should have one military, and it's the Lebanese government, the Lebanese army. But then they also say that particularly the blue line and the Litani should be free from armed personnel other than the government of Lebanon and and UNIFIL. So I wonder if they're just hedging, if they're just saying like, we kind of want you to disarm completely Hezbollah, but you know, if you can't, just go up north of the Litani instead. Yeah.
The presence of armed militants and weapons in southern Lebanon. This was a resolution that the international community agreed on, and Lebanon and
UNIFIL... they knew Hezbollah wouldn't disarm, and they just thought, well, okay, come on. Let's compromise. Just go Litani. Okay,
failed to enforce. No country would agree to the presence of a murderous terrorist organization along its borders, and the state of Israel has the right and the obligation to do what 1701 failed to do. We will continue presenting our findings to the international community, including evidence that we brought back from inside Hezbollah strongholds along our border. Israel is facing threats on many fronts and continues to act against them in defense of the people of Israel. We are committed to achieving all of our goals. In Gaza, we're continuing to operate to bring home all 101 hostages who have been held in brutal conditions by Hamas for almost a year. We are continuing to operate to dismantle Hamas's capability to ensure that they can never again carry out a massacre against us. And we are intensively operating against the Hezbollah terrorist organization in Lebanon in order to enable the residents of northern Israel to return home in safety and security. This is our missions, and we are determined to fulfill them.
Okay, I don't know if I have the clip of Hezbollah's response, but I remember watching it. It went something like this. Okay, after getting raids launched on all the southern areas and getting all their weapons caches blown up and their tunnels caved in by the IDF, I think the Hezbollah deputy went on TV and said something like, well, we played easy so far, but you understand, this is crossing the line. The rules of war have changed. No more Mr. Nice Hezbollah. That's probably what they said. Same thing they said after the pagers, after the airstrikes, after the fucking death of Nasrallah. After they said, if you want to invade us, bring it on. Yeah, bring it on. Let's go. Bring it. We're ready. Meanwhile, they're fucking hobbling on one leg with both arms blown off. 'Tis but a scratch. Fight me. Come on, then. it's so fucking cringe. Like, the Lebanese army backed off, obviously. UNIFIL fucked off out there. They're just at their bases, standing by. At the end of the day, Hezbollah are they have nothing. They can't do shit. They can't do anything. They can't hurt Israel. It's how fucking abundantly clear has it been made that they can't even fucking dent Israel, let alone destroy the entire country like they want to. At the end of the day, they're the ones who have decided that, yeah, fuck it. They're the ones inviting Israel in to say, yeah, come on, come get us. We'll fight. Like, fuck you, man. You realize that there's an entire, outside of Hezbollah, there's an entire country there that doesn't want to die for your fucking horseshit objectives, that doesn't want to die for your stupid fantasies. Like, come on. I wish people would understand this. You realize that, like, Hezbollah have dragged Lebanon into this for no reason, for no gain. It's not like any fucking Sunnis and Christians and people who live in Beirut or up in Tyre or fucking Sidon. It's like any people actually are feeling any relief in their lives or feel defended because 60,000 Israelis can't go back to their fucking chicken farms in the north. Like, God. Bring it on. The rules of war have changed. Hopping on your last leg, on your last limb. The rules of war have changed. That's what they're doing. It's time. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Inshallah, maybe this last rocket will hit another cow farm. Or another couple of Druze children. Boof! The last leg goes off. Just a bouncing stump. Come on then. Come on then. 'Tis but a flesh wound. Beirut, come get us in Beirut. Let's go. Don't mind the civilians next to it. They don't give a heck. They're with us, right? Guys? It's just me and you, old boy. Come on, then. I hate Hezbollah so much, bro. What fucking disgusting pieces of shit. Anyway. This is the most Jordanian thing ever. Oh, no. Do I want to know what the most Jordanian thing ever is? What the fuck is this? Are they playing with a crashed munition? This TO? Yeah, they are. They're playing with a piece of rocket. A piece of missile.
ابو حمزه ولع سكاره من الصاروخ سكارته من الصاروخ عشان يقولوا
What?
اذا قلت اني ولعت من صاروخ.
No, they're lighting their cigarettes off of a piece of Iranian missile. Okay. Listen, I'm happy for Jordan, you know? This could be you if you make peace with Israel. Hey, Hezbollah, listen, this... I don't even know who's in charge now, but this could be you. If you understand that if Hezbollah makes peace with Israel, this could be you, okay? When Assad decides that he's going to be the guy to bring the fight, and he's fucking terrorizing Arabs and Jews and Druze people in the north, this could be you, okay? This could be Hezbollah, a civilian government taking care of the Shiite population, got your seats in the parliament, everything. You're represented as a regular part of the country. As regular old civilians with you can keep all the religious fanaticism, don't care. Yeah, just don't, no weapons, okay? Lebanese army. The Lebanese army is finally the strongest militia group in the country. This could be you. Going into a field, lighting a fucking ciggy off of a crashed, over a crashed Syrian missile. Okay, anyway. Hasan clip. Don't mind if I watch a Hasan clip. Is it Hasan o'clock? I think it's Hasan o'clock.
Perspective of Western media, so trust me, they will remember how to cover. They will remember how to cover conflicts. Now, as far as I understand, the Iranian message ahead of time was they're not trying to target civilian targets. They are trying to target military.
Sorry, that's trying. That's are we talking international law here? Is that what you mean by trying? You mean they've got like precise guidance on their munitions, right? That's what you mean? Like they've got coordinates, like they know exactly where each thing is going to go? Is that what they mean by trying? Is that how you get past IHL on indiscriminate strikes? Employs a method or means of warfare which cannot be directed at a specific military objective or person. Those are Iranian rockets, the ones that are currently landing in fucking munitions that are landing in fucking Jordan and and the West Bank. Okay. Okay.
Military targets. The problem is
their weapons can't aim that well. That's the problem, right? The problem is that these ballistics are not guided. That's the problem, right, Hasan? The problem is you can say whatever the fuck you want, but if your thing is just aim in a general direction and pray, that's not really trying, is it? Like, hang on. We got Palestinian footage as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, Hasan, finish the sentence.
You know what? Message ahead of time was they're not trying to target civilian targets. They are trying to target military targets. The problem is
they can't aim.
You know what? I'll let CNN's Jim Surito explain what the problem is when you're targeting military targets. Let's take a look.
The U.S. intel view.
The other problem is that Iran just has no right to be targeting Israel. They have no right to do it. Like, they have no cause for war against Israel. Their military objective, which is, I think to this day, is death to Israel, is not a valid military objective. I'm sorry. Even if you think their war conduct is on point, it's not. Even if you think the conduct is on point, it's still, you need to have a legit cause for war. You need to have a legitimate objective. They want to stop the genocide. Sorry, bro. If Israel gets attacked by Hamas and they choose to fight against Hamas and it's not been determined by anyone who matters that this is a genocide happening, no, it's not actually a legitimate objective. No. You know what? I think Iran is committing a genocide against its own women. Doesn't give me the right to go there. If I decide that, okay? Doesn't give me the right to go into Iran and start fucking stabbing people in the hope that some of them are soldiers. I can't do that. It's not allowed. I'm not even allowed to go to Iran to a fucking barracks and kill soldiers. I'm not allowed to do that. I can hate them as much as I want. I think China, I want to stop a genocide in China, the Uyghurs. That's actually got quite a bit of credibility. Doesn't give me the right to go to China and kill fucking soldiers. I don't like the regime in fucking Syria. I think they're committing genocide. They've killed so many more people than Israel has. 500, 600,000 dead in the Syrian civil war. I go over there, go to Iran, go to Syria, and kill fucking a bunch of Assad guys for no.
That among the targets were Israeli airfields, but also, and this is crucial, the headquarters of Mossad, the international intelligence service of Israel, which is inside Tel Aviv. It's in the northern part of Tel Aviv, but it's in the city. It's in a densely populated area.
Oh no, wait a minute. Does that mean that Israel's using human shields, brother? Is that because that's what you taught me. That's what you educated me on, Jim. Jim Sequito. I ain't never seen you wear the fucking vest before. I ain't never seen you wear the helmet before, Jim. You're in Tel Aviv. Why are you wearing the helmet, Jim? So many of his colleagues were assassinated by the Israeli state. Dressed up exactly like that.
Is he talking about the journalists who, like, you look up their profiles and the ones who they say get killed are people who have been like in areas where there's like massive military activity, and these are people who are like often like affiliated with Hamas? Is that what he's talking about? His colleagues? Okay.
The American bombs, mind you. Okay. So it turns out there is no such thing as fucking human shields. Okay. And that's something that I understand, and that's something that you need to understand as well. It's just that I actually believe that. By
the way, Israel does have headquarter buildings in Tel Aviv. The problem is that first of all, they're not in bunkers. The Tel Aviv, the one that's opposite a shopping center, is literally surrounded by a perimeter with a wall with barbed wire. Like if you did a precise strike on that, you wouldn't cause that much damage in the surrounding area, for one. But for two, again, Israel has never. Not recently, I don't think Israel has recently actually picked a fight with any country that practices discernment. They haven't. I don't think if Israel started a war with a country like that, like the United States, that actually aims for their targets, then yeah, you could absolutely criticize Israel for having their military infrastructure in civilian areas. But it's not even slightly comparable to it being underneath, like tunnels networks and shit like that. Or just completely indistinguishable, because again, the IDF headquarters is a separate building from the other buildings around it, which is also not the same as you've got a residential building where some of the flats have fucking weapons caches in them, where there's a tunnel system underneath it, and where across the road there's a what should be a school, but it's actually being commandeered and used for a weapon stockpile as well. This is not comparable to anything Israel does. It's so retarded. Like, yeah.
Fucking scumbags only deploy that when it's Israel that is in the crosshairs of a bombing.
Yeah, the point of using human shields is to deter attacks. None of Israel's enemies are deterred by the fact that there are civilians near military targets sometimes. That's not actually a thing. Even Iran can say what they're aiming for, but the fact is that those missiles are not precise.
Campaign. Just going to point that out real quick, okay?
And of course, the concern is if you're firing, even though Iran might consider that a military target, it is in a densely populated city with civilians around it. And that's just one more layer of escalation.
Oh, that's an escalation? Wait. So striking military targets that happen to be in fucking densely populated civilian areas is an escalation. Is it an escalation through, is it a de-escalation tactic through escalation?
Got him.
Is Iran de-escalating through escalation right now?
Again, the other difference is that the Israeli escalation on Hezbollah has like actually fucking ruined them. You understand the difference there? That when Israel says de-escalation by escalation, is a bunch of a stupid phrase that meant pagers exploding, taking out 1,500 fighters, killing about 30 or 35, destroying their communication systems. Then it meant the airstrikes on strategic locations in the south. Then it meant killing Nasrallah, basically pushing their shit in. And now Hezbollah are not particularly strong, right? They're kind of on the back foot. They look really useless. They've kind of folded overnight like a paper tiger. 35 what? I think around 35 plus of the people who were killed by the pager and walkie-talkie attacks were claimed by Hezbollah as soldiers. I know that you haven't heard that on the propaganda retarded channels that you probably normally watch, that the people that you've watched, that the only channels that you've watched have probably been the people who just acted as if the only people who died were those two kids, right? I know that's, I understand. I understand that the channels that you've watched, I understand that no one has probably told you that Hezbollah guys literally themselves admitted that 1,500 of their fighters are completely out of action because of those pager attacks. 1,500 fighters out of, what was it, 3,000 injured. And that's not even to mention people who were temporarily injured, like Akil, because he was temporarily injured. He was discharged after 2 days. Yeah, I understand the people that you watch wouldn't tell you that, because that would actually mean that pager attack, like I said, like basically it was very clear very early on, is that given that your enemy fights in military area, in civilian areas, that is about as accurate as you're going to be, unfortunately. That your conclusion, although it's obviously fucking tragic that those two kids died, they didn't deserve to die, they were civilians. The fact is, though, is that if you're Hezbollah, you fight in civilian areas. Which means that if anyone gets attacked by Hezbollah and they want to fight back, then civilians will die. That's Hezbollah's game. That's what they do. That's their way of operating. So that useful idiots in this fucking stream can call it a war crime because what? Because there was collateral damage, which is a legal concept in war. I'm sorry. Because I know that underneath all this, oh, it's a war, I don't like the conduct, you're a useful idiot against war. Sorry, okay, yeah, so you agree with me. Hezbollah shouldn't have attacked Israel on October 8th. There was no need for it. There was nothing. Like, they had nothing to gain from it. They had no legitimate cause to do it. Yeah. They don't have the means to do it within the law because all their weapons are indiscriminate. Yeah, you agree with me. Good.
now? Is that what's going on? Or is Iran doing something that is unimaginably cruel and unusual to Israel? I don't know, because like I said, I've only learned from mainstream media. I've only watched mainstream media, so I'm like a little confused. I'm a little confused right now as to why the tone and the coverage is like so dramatically different, because for the past 12 months, that shit was awesome, right? Like, it was sick. Israel was so mighty and so good at what it does. Israel also literally fucking has an Iron Dome, okay? Israel currently has the might of the American military, Jordanian coverage, American coverage, Saudi coverage. They got literally regional partners trying to defend Israel to the best of their fucking ability, and the Iron Dome is getting fucking overwhelmed, okay?
Is that what we learned on Discord?
Let's see what...
do we actually know if any of these ballistic missiles directly hit, or is it all fragments? Mostly fragments? No, have we had any confirmation? Have we had any confirmation that any of the strikes actually were direct hits? Is Hasan against the Iron Dome? Probably because he wants Israel to lose, yeah. He probably doesn't like the Iron Dome. Everything makes it unfair. Hits, direct hits, no. Hits, yes, direct hits, no. Yeah, I don't know. I think they probably just saw those explosions. We got the JDAM expert. Okay, whatever.
Jazeera saying
Sayyid Ali Khamenei, who has the control over
is he going to react to the fact that it looks like that so far the only person confirmed dead by this barrage is a Palestinian? Is he going to mention that? I wish he would engage with that. The fact that the Axis special. It's an important detail. Oh, where are the marching orders? Where are the marching orders coming from? What's the source? Human shields. I'm pretty sure even Iran said that their missiles could only hit within 50 meters of a target. But apparently that's an overestimation. What's this from September? They examined an Iranian strike on the Nevatim airbase some 65 kilometers south of Jerusalem in the Negev desert. They believe Iran used its Emad missile, a variant of the country's Shahab-3 missile built from a North Korean design. Assuming Iran targeted Israeli F-35-1 fired jet hangars, the James Martin analysts measured the distance between the hangars and the impact zones of missiles. That gave an average of about 1.2 kilometers for the circular error probable. Wow. That's quite a lot of error. Okay.
All armed forces, and he has the right to declare war on any other country.
I will warn all of you, don't get fucking callous. Do not think you can post like an Israel defender, okay? You cannot. I'm letting you know right now, you will literally go to prison, okay? Your life, they will end your life. You will go to jail potentially for supporting terrorism. It don't work that way. Do not fucking Fed post. Do not fucking Fed post in the chat.
He actually just wants to be an echo chamber. Bro, give me the Iran defenders. I want them all. Get them in here. I want to hear it.
للمطار دخل مطارنا لمطارنا دخل يا ولاد لا مطار مطارنا دخل لا
The fuck, man?
طال المطار ده نعم تحرك من المطار
Yeah, these are fragments.
يا
There's nothing to defend about war. Yeah, money, science, habit. I don't know why you're even hiding behind that stupid fucking platitude. You understand that if a country gets attacked, they kind of have to go to war, right? That's like one of the things they have to do. It's one of the options. It's one of the most likely outcomes of attacking a country is that they'll go to war with you. Sorry. Yeah, everyone's anti-war until their country gets attacked, dumb fuck. I don't know why. Why are you dancing? I can already tell from the handful of sentences that you've posted in this chat. I know the reason you're upset. You're not upset because of war conduct or because you're anti-war in general. You're upset because in your world, you think Hezbollah and Iran, whatever, should be allowed to terrorize Arabs and Jews and Druze people alike with impunity so long as they keep a few civilians next to them whilst they do it. That's what you think. That's your world. Article about direct hits. Oh. You've been glazing anti-Israel sentiment for months now, and it gets serious, you all of a sudden hate it? I'm a both sideser, okay? I will call out Israel when they do bad things, okay? And I'll support them when they do good things. And I'll call out Hezbollah and all this shit when they do bad things, which is, quite a lot of the time. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go watch Elon Levy, okay? Okay. Biden's about to... Biden! We don't platform terrorists on this stream.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm going to be really quick
That's
here.
not Biden.
I have the National Security Advisor,
Not
Jake
black
Sullivan,
enough.
to talk about the latest in the Middle East. So I'll turn it over to him.
Right.
Thank you, Karine, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to provide a brief report on the Iranian ballistic missile attack against Israel that occurred earlier today. I can take
That's not
just a few
Biden.
questions because this
Definitely
is an
not
ongoing
black
situation and I need to get back to my desk. Today, Iran launched nearly 200 ballistic missiles towards targets in Israel.
Oh, sorry.
The United
Fuck.
States military...
I thought you could see what I see. I was talking about this person. Okay, it's a joke. Okay. It's the Biden you ain't black joke. Okay.
At this point, this attack appears to have been defeated and ineffective. This was first and foremost the result of the professionalism of the IDF, but in no small part because of the skilled work of the U.S. military and meticulous joint planning in anticipation of the attack. We are also aware of reports of a terrorist attack in Jaffa that took the lives of a number of Israeli civilians and wounded several others today. Our condolences go out to the families of the victims and to the family of the Palestinian civilian in Jericho. Obviously, my update here is based on early reports, and we reserve the right to amend and adjust as necessary as we gather more information. The word fog of war was invented for a situation like this. This is a fluid situation. We will consult with the Israelis on next steps in terms of the response and how to deal with what Iran has just done, and we will continue to monitor for further threats and attacks from Iran and its proxies. We are particularly focused on protecting U.S. service members.
What, Palestinians killed in Jaffa, the shooters? No, it was in Jericho. Did I say Jaffa? I think in Jericho a Palestinian was killed by either a bit of debris or by an interceptor or by part of the missile.
In the region. And with that, I'll take just a few questions. Yeah.
Thanks, Jake. Is the administration making any preparations to evacuate U.S. citizens from Lebanon or elsewhere in the region?
We have been very clear for some time now that U.S. citizens should avail themselves of commercial means to depart Lebanon, given everything that's going on. We have said that from this podium, from multiple podiums. We continue to say that, but we have not begun triggering a non-combatant emergency evacuation, a NEO, and do not have an intention to do so at this time. If that changes, we'll let you know. But we continue to reinforce the point. American citizens in Lebanon should follow the guidance from the State Department, which is to find civilian commercial means to depart, because in extremis, we may not be able to get them out safely. Yes.
Thanks, Jake. What is the U.S. view on whether Israel should retaliate, and what is your concern about this leading to a wider escalation of war in the region?
We've had some initial discussions with the Israelis in the aftermath of this at the military level and also at the White House to Prime Minister's office level. We'll continue those conversations in the hours ahead. I'm not going to prejudge or get ahead of anything. We want to have some deep consultations with the Israelis, and I'll have more to report to you after we get the opportunity for deeper discussions.
An escalation in the region?
Obviously, this is a significant escalation by Iran, a significant event, and it is equally significant that we were able to step up with Israel and create a situation in which no one was killed in this attack in Israel, so far as we know at this time. We are now going to look at what the appropriate next steps are to secure, first and foremost, American interests, and then to promote stability to the maximum extent possible as we go forward. Yeah.
Back in April, the president's message to Israel was to take the win when the U.S. and Israel were able to intercept the barrage of Iranian missiles. Is he recommending a similarly limited response this time?
I will not, from this podium, share the president's recommendations. He will have the opportunity to share them directly. We're going to have, as I said, ongoing consultations with the Israelis this afternoon, this evening. It is too early for me to tell you anything publicly in terms of our assessment or in terms of what our expectations are of the Israelis or the advice that we will give them.
So will he be speaking to Prime Minister Netanyahu today?
I don't have anything to announce from this podium, but I can tell you that he is tracking this minute by minute. We are very much deeply in touch with the Israelis, and insofar as we have calls to read out, we'll make sure to read them out with you. Just last question, then I'll turn it over.
Thank you, Jake. In April, after Iran struck Israel, the U.S. issued a number of sanctions as a consequence. This morning, the president said there would be severe consequences if Iran carried out this attack. What are those consequences, and are they more severe than sanctions?
Totally legitimate question, and that answer will come based on the conversations and consultations we have with our Israeli counterparts It's too soon for me to stand before you today and give you an answer. What I can tell you is this. We are proud of the actions that we've taken alongside Israel to protect and defend Israel. We have made clear that there will be consequences, severe consequences for this attack, and we will work with Israel to make that the case. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jake. Okay, on to the rest of the programming here. This morning, President Biden was briefed by his Homeland Security Advisor, Liz Sherwood Randall, on the latest impacts of Hurricane Helene, and this afternoon he...
Is this a reliable source? This, Al Arabiya? This is from the Jericho governor. I feel like this is definitely true, right? Like it's... No. It is. They showed his ID. Okay. Saudi state connected? I mean, if it's Saudi state and it's like a statement from the Jericho governor... What? I need, oh no, not the, because I've been talking about Syria, the Free Syrian Memes guy has shown up in my fucking feed. Oh no.